Your conscious mind is the head office of your life. Its role is to deal with the information in your environment, analyze it, compare it against other information, and then decide what actions to take. But it is your subconscious mind that contains the great powers that can enable you to accomplish vastly more than you ever have before. At least 90% or more of your mental powers are below the surface. It is essential that you learn to tap into these powers to motivate, stimulate, and drive you forward toward the achievement. Your subconscious mind functions best with clear goals, specific tasks, deliberate measures, and firm deadlines. The more of these, with which you program your subconscious computer, the better it functions for you, and the more you will accomplish in a shorter period of time. As you set your goals and begin moving toward them, it is essential that you establish a series of benchmarks or measures that you can use to evaluate your progress day by day and hour by hour. The more clear and specific the measures you set, the more accurate you will be in hitting your targets on schedule. Your subconscious mind requires a forcing system composed of deadlines that you have imposed on yourself for task accomplishment and goal attainment. Without a forcing system, it becomes easy for you to procrastinate and delay, and to put off important tasks until much later, if at all. There are 3 keys to peak performance in achieving your goals: commitment, completion, and closure. When you make a firm commitment to achieve a particular goal and put aside all excuses, it is very much like stepping on the accelerator of your subconscious mind. You will be more creative, determined, and focused than ever before. Great men and women are those who make clear, unequivocal commitments and then refuse to budge from them no matter what happens. Completion is the second ingredient in peak performance. There is an enormous difference between doing 95% of a task and doing 100% of a task. In fact, it is very common for people to work very hard up to the 90 or 95% level and then to slack off and delay the final completion of the task. This is a temptation that you must fight against. You must continually force yourself, discipline yourself to resist this natural tendency and push through to completion. Every time you complete a task of any kind, your brain releases a small quantity of endorphins. This natural morphine gives you a sense of well-being, elation. It makes you feel happy and peaceful, stimulates your creativity, and improves your personality. It is nature's wonder drug. The more important the task that you complete, the greater is the quantity of endorphin that your brain releases, very much like a reward for success and achievement. Over time, you can develop a positive addiction to the feelings of well-being that you receive from this endorphin rush. Even when you complete a small task, you feel happier. When you complete a large task, you still feel happier. When you finish the various steps on the way to the completion of a large task, at every achievement, you get an endorphin rush. You feel continuously happy and exhilarated when you are working steadily toward the completion of an important job. Everyone wants to feel like a winner, and feeling like a winner requires that you win. You get the feeling of the winner by completing a task 100%. When you do this repeatedly, eventually you develop the habit of completing the tasks that you begin. When this habit of task completion locks in, your life will begin to improve in ways that you cannot today imagine. In psychology, the reverse is always true. The incomplete action is a major source of stress and anxiety. In fact, much of the unhappiness that people experience is because they have not been able to discipline themselves to follow through and complete an important task or responsibility. If you have ever had a major assignment that you have been putting off, you know what I am referring to. The longer you wait to get started on an assignment, and the closer the deadline approaches, the greater stress you experience. It can start to keep you up at night and affect your personality. But when you finally launch into the task and push it through to completion, you feel a great sense of relief and well-being. It is almost as if nature rewards you for everything that you do that is positive and life-enhancing. At the same time, nature penalizes you with stress and dissatisfaction when you fail to do the things that move you toward the goals and results that are important to you. One of the most popular movements in modern management is toward the balanced scorecard. Using these scorecards, every person at every level of the business is encouraged to identify the key measures that indicate success. Then they give themselves scores every day and every week in each of those key areas. Here is an important point. The very act of identifying a number or score and then paying close attention to it will cause you to improve your performance in that area. For example, if someone were to tell you before a meeting that you were going to be evaluated on how well you listened in that meeting, your listening skills would improve dramatically. Within a few moments, you would listen far more carefully and attentively throughout the meeting because you knew that this behavior was being observed. In the same way, whenever you select a goal, measure, or activity that is important to you and begin observing or paying attention to it in your day-to-day life, your performance in that area improves. One of the most helpful actions you can take in your own career is to set benchmarks and create scorecards, measures, metrics, and deadlines for every key task that you must complete on the way to one of your goals. In this way, you activate your subconscious forcing system. This forcing system will then motivate you and drive you at an unconscious level to start earlier, work harder, stay later, and get the job done. The third C after commitment and completion is closure. This is the difference between an open loop and a closed loop. Bringing closure to an issue in your personal or business life is absolutely essential for you to feel happy and in control of your situation. Lack of closure, unfinished business, and incomplete action of any kind are all major sources of stress, dissatisfaction, and even failure. In business, they consume enormous amounts of physical and emotional energy. Perhaps the most important ability in the world of work is dependability. There is nothing that will get you paid more and promoted faster than to develop a reputation for getting your task done quickly and well and on schedule. Whatever your goals, make a list of all the tasks that you will have to accomplish in the achievement of those goals. Put a deadline on every one of those tasks. Then work every day and every hour to hit your deadlines. Measure your progress each day as you go along. Speed up or slow down where necessary. But remember, you can't hit a target that you can't see. The greater clarity that you have with regard to deadlines and measures, the more you will accomplish and the faster you will get it done. A goal or a decision without a deadline is merely a discussion. It has no energy behind it. It is like a bullet with no powder in the cartridge. Unless you establish deadlines to which you are committed, you will end up firing blanks in life and work. Sometimes people ask, what if I set a deadline and I don't achieve the goal by the deadline? Simple. Set another deadline and then another if necessary. Deadlines are best guess estimates of when the task will be completed. The more you set and work toward deadlines, the more accurate you will become in predicting the time necessary to complete them. You will become better and better at achieving your goals and completing your task on the schedule. Every time you have heard the question, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. This metaphor applies to achieving any big goal as well. How do you achieve a huge goal? You accomplish it one step, one task, one measure at a time. Break your long-term goals down into annual, monthly, weekly, and even hourly goals. Even if your long-term goal is financial independence, look for a way to break that down into how you are going to use each hour of the coming day in such a way that long-term financial independence is far more likely. If you want to increase your income, you know that all income is a result of added value. Look at everything you do and then ask yourself how you could add more value so that you can be worth more than you are earning today. Go and ask your boss, what one thing do I do that is more valuable than anything else? Whatever his or her answer, look for ways to perform more and more of that task and to get better and better at doing it. It is absolutely amazing how much you can accomplish if you break your tasks down into bite-sized pieces, set deadlines, and then do one thing at a time every single day. You have heard the old saying, by the yard, it's hard, but inch by inch, anything's a cinch. If you want to increase your hourly rate and your income, look for ways to get a little bit better at the most important things you do every single day. Read 1 hour. per day in your field, listen to audio programs on your way to and from work, take additional courses whenever you can. These activities will propel your entire career onto the fast track. When you invest an extra 1 or 2 hours per day in self-improvement, the cumulative effect on your greater ability to get results can be extraordinary. If you want to lose weight, there's a simple 5-word formula: eat less and exercise more. If you discipline yourself to eat a little bit less, but eat higher quality foods and simultaneously exercise a little bit more each day, you can get into the rhythm of losing 1 ounce per day, no matter how much you weigh today. If you lose 1 ounce each day, that will equal about 2 pounds per month. 2 pounds per month will be 24 pounds per year. In no time at all, you can retrain your body and your appetite so that you lose the weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. If you want to become wealthy, begin to question every single expense. Set a goal to save $3, $5, or $10 per day. Put this money away in a savings account and never touch it as it grows. Invest it carefully in well-chosen mutual funds or index funds. Make daily, weekly, and monthly saving and investment into a habit and keep it up for the rest of your working life. In no time at all, you will become comfortable living on slightly less than you are spending today. As your income increases, increase the amount that you save. In a few weeks, a few months, a few years, you will be out of debt and have a large amount of money put away and working for you. A few years down the road, you will be financially independent. If you read 15 minutes each evening, rather than watching television, you will complete about 15 books per year. If you read the great classics of English literature for 15 minutes each day in 7 years, you will have read that 100 greatest books ever written. You will be one of the best educated and most erudite people of your generation, and you can achieve this just by reading 15 minutes each evening before you go to bed. If you are in sales and you want to increase your income, keep careful track of how many calls, how many presentations, how many proposals, and how many sales you're making each day, each week, and each month at the present time. Then set a goal to increase your number of calls, presentations, and proposals per day. Set a goal to increase your number of sales each week and each month. Every day, measure yourself against your own standards in each area of your life. Analyze your activities carefully and select a specific number that more than anything else determines your level of success in that area. Then focus all of your attention all day long on that specific number. The very act of focused attention will cause you to perform better in that area, both consciously and unconsciously. If you want to be healthier, you could focus on the number of minutes per week that you exercise or the number of calories per day that you eat. If you want to be successful financially, you can focus on the amount you earn each hour or the amount that you save each month. If you want to be successful in sales, you could focus on the number of calls you make each day or the number of sales or the size of sales you make each month. If you want to be successful in your relationships, you can focus on the number of minutes that you spend face to face with the most important people in your life each day and each week. You have heard the saying, what gets measured gets done. There's another saying, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Your ability to set specific measures on your goals and then to keep an accurate record and track your performance each day will assure that you achieve your goals exactly when you have decided to or even before.